Well, it's a very interesting panel today. I have with me some very interesting spokespeople, people who are joining the IPO race, and somebody who's already been there, done that. I have with me Prashant Sethi from Ease My Trip, and I have with me Sandeep Agarwal from June. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us today on the Daily Dispatch. It's an exciting time because when it rains, it really pours, and we're seeing so many IPOs and so many new age internet companies going out there and listing. Prashant, I want to begin with you, considering that Ease My Trip has been there, done that.
Firstly, thank you, Supriya, for having us over here. We almost prepared for 1.5 years to be listed. And then, we started in the middle of 2018, and then the COVID happened. So we were supposed to be listed around 20th of March 2020. But then, as we know, what has happened around the mid of February 2020, we had to delay and put an indefinite plan on when are we going to be listed. But come 2021, in the earlier part, before the COVID wave 2, things were looking normal. And that is when we got listed. Of course, there's a lot of hard work to be listed. There's a lot of compliance work which needs to be done. And it needs to be done regularly now. So every quarter, you have to do quarterly results. You have to do an earnings call. You have to be on television. There's so many other compliances work which go through. But having said that, it's all worth it. Just the feeling of having hundreds and thousands of people being your shareholder and, working as a larger group, I think it's all worth it.
Sandeep, listening to the challenges that Prashant has really described, are you looking at changing your mind? Are you planning to still go ahead with the IPO?
Priya, Prashant has highlighted the ground reality, and also as a former Wall Street analyst, I was very well aware before becoming a tech entrepreneur. But I think it is still worth it, especially if you take a long-term approach and you build a company or products which you think you are built to last. I think going public is definitely a kind of a milestone which increases the longevity, which perhaps sometimes much needed supervision, and even you like it or not, but it strengthens your system, processes, check and balances. So in net, it is, I think it's all worth it. And especially, as I mentioned earlier, if you're taking a long-term approach.
Right. And I want to direct this one question to the two of you. We're seeing so many companies already being listed and so many in the pipeline. But when you look at the listings that have happened so far, it's been a bittersweet kind of success for a lot of companies. While we did see some companies have spectacular listings, we also saw some very tepid or muted listings happen in the market. And the most recent one being the Paytm listing that has happened. Sandeep, what is your view on it? Does it give you a little bit of a jitter, considering that, the market is sort of was even muted to an IPO like that of Paytm? So what is your view on the same?
Priya, my view is that as a public market, one thing which Prashant did not highlight is that your stock price may see daily volatility. It can go up, it can go down, and it can be daily, hourly, and minute basis, right? But as I mentioned, companies are typically built on a long-term basis. So, I think while you may see certain stocks, especially let's say Paytm, not reacting well, but that's a very short-term horizon, a company which can change the whole industry for the next few decades. I think it will be very myopic to judge their performance for especially for a few days, not even, let's say, a few quarters or a few years. Right. I mean, if you recall when this book went public, right, the stock was, if I'm not wrong, was offered anywhere between 30 to 36, and literally 2 quarters later, the company was less than 20, right, and it was, I think, 17, and it's 340 plus now, right. So my point is that I think if you can apply a little bit of Warren Buffett investing philosophy, even for a technology and new age companies like ours, it can, I think it'll be very unfair to judge it on a few days of performance.
Right. Prashant, if you'd like to come in out here, because of course the market sentiment is something that you monitor on a daily basis. You've experienced that in your stocks, but
Mhm.
going by the kind of response some of the IPOs have been getting in the market, what is your sense of how things are shaping up?
Well, Priya, I was going to quote the same example of Facebook. It basically tanked down to half in 2 months, and then basically it gave people returns 1,600 times. So, 1,600 percentage. So I think, honestly speaking, see, for a new age companies like ours, a decade is actually a lot longer period, as Sandeep just mentioned. And we think that in couple of years, the entire company can change dramatically and can turn, from being a negative company to a positive company very quickly. That's a beautiful part as well about how agile the new age companies can be, since most of them are not reliant on big assets like factories and industries. We all are tech companies entirely. The entire products are mostly offered on technology, which can change overnight. So I completely agree that since the internet companies are getting listed now, starting 2021. I believe that the market will also probably take some time to understand our companies and react better. So, to be honest, I think whatever the initial euphoria is, for example, for Easmart Trip, we got listed at premium of around at 20%. And people thought that that's slightly subdued because people are anticipating 100% premium, right? And then market took time to understand Nisma Trip. I think for about a month or two, the market took time where we were somewhere around at our IPO price, and then probably the market started reacting, a little bit better to our stock. So I think it's a matter of time.
Right. I think one metric that a lot of investors look at before putting money into a company is profitability. While Easmart, Prashant, is profitable at this point in time. Sandeep, how important do you think is profitability as a metric when it comes to investors going ahead and putting money into a company?
See, Priya, if you look at 27 years of history of internet stocks, right? From Amazon to eBay to every other internet stock we know, it has been very, very clear that investors actually reward scale followed by profitability. Of course, every incremental stock cannot come at a deteriorating profitability. But thing is, like companies like ours, these new age companies, we are disrupting. We are doing something cheaper, better, faster than how it was done traditionally, right? And it takes, like average human life expectancy in last 100 years has gone up probably from 50 years to 78 or 80 years. Same way, a company which can survive forever, the oldest companies example will be the companies which came in 1860, right? So from that perspective, if the company is disrupting, right, it's changing how things have been done in a large TAM market, and their marginal return, let's say company is not profitable, but their marginal return is better than their marginal cost, I think it is still creating shareholder wealth, right? And then if India wants to be open for new age companies, if India wants Silicon Valley style bull run, not only necessary bull run, but option of investing in new age companies, then I think the 180-year-old blind spot that only profitable companies should go public or only profitable companies are good is not necessary, is how I would say $15 trillion new wealth has been created by the new age companies.
Sure. Interesting perspective out there. Prashant, you've been on an acquisition spree, 2 acquisitions already just in the last couple of days. Going forward, what kind of plan can we expect for Easmart Trip? Travel is opening up. 99 countries have been allowed as far as India is concerned. So tell us a little bit about what the plan is and more acquisitions on the radar.
Yeah, actually, certainly. As you rightly said, that the travel is opening up. We have seen the worst of the times in the last 1.5 years. Thankfully, at Easmart Trip, we were able to still remain profitable, nonetheless. However, our acquisition strategy is pretty strong right now. We are looking to acquire companies which are in the non-air space. In the air space, we are doing all right. We are already the second largest. We are growing pretty rapidly. In the non-air space, be it bus, hotel, trains, holidays, cabs, we're looking to acquire companies and consolidate. The kinds of companies which we are acquiring mostly are somewhat like eSmartTrip, unit profitable or even profitable altogether, growing rapidly. As Sandeep correctly mentioned, that in companies like ours, there are two things which matter: the scale at which we are growing, and of course, the unit economics. On how close are we to getting profitable? So I think just to add to what Sandeep has said, to the last question which you may have asked, which is, I think people probably are okay whether you're making money or not. It's just that they want to see that whether you're going to be becoming a market leader or even creating a new market altogether or not. If people can have that sense that either you're going to be a market leader or creating a new market altogether, I think people are there. There are a good number of investors out there who are going to be backing you out.
Right, Sandeep, I know you can't talk a little anything about your business and expansion plans going forward because you filed the DRHP, but give us some indication as to when we can see you hitting the markets. Any plans in terms of listing this year, or will we see it in the next calendar year now?
Yeah, so Priya, as you can appreciate, because DRHP is filed and there's nothing we can talk about it. We filed it on 12th of this month, and following the SEBI's ICDR regulations and guidelines, and just we are doing our part, and I think typically whatever is the time is people can see on the empirical evidences. I am unfortunately cannot put any timeline, but people can see typically how much time it takes from the DRHP filing to company getting listed.
All right. Thank you very much, panelists, for joining us today. It's been a pleasure hosting all of you. Thanks so much for your time.